Hi, I'm Tim Rock Reigns, and you're watching Eric Live on the Air.
Stop the rock, can't stop the rock, you can't stop the rock. Stop the rock. Stop the rock. Stop the rock, can't stop the rock, you can't stop the rock. Can't stop the rock, you can't stop the rock, can't stop the rock.
Well, one guy that you talked about when he came to spring training that didn't look all that great the first time, and it just shocks me compared to where he is now. Derek Jeter, you said in '96 when he came up, and you saw him in spring training. It was your first time with the Yankees, and you said that you didn't think that he looked like Derek Jeter.
Well, he didn't look like a major league player.
Yeah.
I mean, he was Derek Jeter.
Well, not to say that he didn't look like him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't think he was ready
Mm-hmm.
to take over the shortstop job at that time. I mean, we had Tony Fernandez, who he was a good player himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we didn't really need Jeter at that time when we had Tony, but Tony got hurt. He missed the whole year pretty much, and so he was next in line. So you're kind of like forced into the job.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it takes that. I mean, some guys is ready for that, and some guys aren't. He was one guy that was ready.
It's the pressure. It almost seems he thrives on pressure.
And you know, it's tough playing in New York.
Yeah.
You know, tough being a young guy playing in New York, let alone an older guy playing in New York. So he was a guy that, and he played with a lot of veterans. I think that helped him. I think that helped him a lot. A veteran team, good veteran team. He had a lot of support around him. Guys didn't treat him as a rookie. Guys treated him as a Yankee.
Mm-hmm.
And we made it comfortable for him. And he did what he had to do on the field. So we kind of kept the pressure off him as far as the fans and all this stuff, as well as he did as well by playing it as well as he did. So it's only a few guys can do that and do it in New York and do it for the Yankees.
Well, what do you think that you taught him?
I taught him, that play the game hard.
Yeah.
Play the game.
I seen some of those plays that he makes when he's diving into the stands makes you proud.
Oh yeah, and just play the game and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And leave it all out on the field. Whatever happens out there happens. And then you have to deal with the consequences if you did good or if you did bad. The one good thing about baseball, you play every day.
Yeah.
You're gonna have good games. You're gonna have bad games. Just try to minimize the bad games.
Yeah.
You learn from the mistakes you make, and you don't make them anymore. And he was that kind of player. I mean, he listened. He asked questions. He wasn't afraid to, being around big time players.
Oh.
We treated him just like he was one of us.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times what happens to rookies is a lot of veterans get on rookies and kind of scare them out of being a player that they can be.
Yeah.
That never happened to him, and he started out of the game like a bat out of hell that had stopped.
He has yet to stop, pretty much.
Had not stopped.
He had one bad season in his entire career.
Yeah.
And now this season he's had to prove that he's young.
Well, I don't know. You have to prove he's young, just to prove he still can play.
Yeah.
And at a high level, and that's the key. I mean, when guys get older, they feel like they got to play like young guys. I don't think you have to. I mean, the older you get, the more you know about the game. So instead of feeling like you got to play like you're 20, just play like you're older, but you play smarter.
Yeah.
You don't do some of the crazy stuff that you did when you were younger because you probably can't do it.
Yeah. Well, when you came to the Yankees, you were a vet. So, and you said that it's harder to play for the Yankees than it is to play for. I mean, I would assume for most of the other teams that you played for. I mean, Montreal, there wasn't the expectation. Yeah, there was no expectations in Montreal because great, you won a game.
Well, I mean, it's the big leagues, so I mean. There's always expectation.
Yeah.
Always pressure because everybody's trying to get your job.
Yeah.
So every year they draft guys Every year they have got AAA, AA, and A ball that are trying to get there.
Yeah.
And now, you know, obviously there are going to be some that want to be in your position. So you have to hold your own as a player. You have to be consistent. You have to, like I said, you're going to have bad games, but to minimize those bad games and be the player that they count on day in and day out, regardless if you have a good game or not. But just to know, okay, today I might go 4 for 4, tomorrow I might go 0 for 4,
Yeah.
but I'm always a threat.
Mm.
And when you're that type of player, that consistent player, then you have really nothing to worry about, you know, because, you know, fans love good players. They don't love bad players.
Not too much.
And you're going to get booed sometimes. I mean, everybody has a bad game. There might be a situation in the game where you need to get a big hit and you don't get it, and they go boo.
Yeah.
But if you're one of those guys that normally comes through in that situation, and at one time you don't,
Brush it off.
yeah, I mean, the fans know. I mean, the fans know if it starts happening on the regular, then you got problems.
Yeah.
And the fans don't like you so much
Not
anymore.
usually, no. Especially Yankee
And
Stadium.
the front office too. So I mean, you know,
Well, then you're going to be getting a very pleasant call.
unpleasant call.
Yeah.
Either to be traded or sent home, one or the other. So
Sent home, sent down to.
so it's, you know, it's a lot of pressure, but it's the pressure you put on yourself.
Mhm.
You know, because you know you're gonna be. I don't mind when you go on the road, you're gonna get booed because you're on the visiting team. But when you can start getting booed at home, that's when you start worrying.